right, so we're staying with Nehemiah. You know the situation that's happening there. People started complaining. The work was getting tough. Just want to continue on with this. I think it's just an incredibly encouraging lessons that we learned from Nehemiah and the things that they were facing, and I believe they relate to us very much today. So let's read some scripture because I'm going to read a little bit, and I don't want to take too long talking about it. So meanwhile, our enemies were saying, before they know what's happening, we will swoop down on them and kill them and end their work. The Jews who lived near the enemy came and told us again and again, they will come from all directions and attack us. So I'm going to keep reading, but I just want to say, it's kind of funny when things are starting to be difficult and we're working, not funny, but I mean, in a sense of humorous, I'm saying while we're working and doing stuff and it's tough going in that, it seems like we hear messages of fear all the time. Did you hear what's going on? Like, they're going to swoop in, we're going to be destroyed. It's all going to happen all at once, and so be ready. And it's just like feeding that whole complaining, discouraged attitude. So I'm sure you're hearing a lot of that stuff today. As we're going through the different changes that are happening in our culture, our country, and the world around us, there's a lot of fear messages. There's a lot of people saying, look out, it's the end, it's coming, and all this. Listen, this is written in Nehemiah. They will come from all directions and attack us. So again, Nehemiah, he's the man, just grabs the vision of God and what God's asking him to do, and this is what he says. So I placed armed guards behind the lowest parts of the wall in the exposed area. I had stationed the people to stand guard by families, armed with swords, spears, and bows. Then as I looked over the situation, I called together the nobles and the rest of the people and said to them, don't be afraid of the enemy. Remember the Lord who is great and glorious, and fight for your brothers, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your homes. When our enemies heard that we knew of their plans and that God had frustrated them, we all returned to our work on the wall. Okay, so a couple things we grab out of that, which I love. I keep saying I love this guy, but he's just so awesome. He does not lose focus of what God's asked him to do. He's been dealing with all kinds of adversity, and he's challenging the people and leading them, and he's just, I will not lose focus about what's going to happen, right? So we got some weak, exposed areas. Hey, church, listen. You know in your family where you're weak. You know what's happening in your communities where we're weak. You know what's happening in the church where we're weak. And we need to step up into those areas. I mean, physically, we need volunteers at the church to work and to do things that need to be done so that we can be stronger as a church and reach the community. I mean, there's more stuff that needs to be done than ever. And are we weak in areas? Absolutely. I mean, I'm your pastor and I know. But church, I am not discouraged at all. I look at the fight and say the Lord is on our side and he is a victorious, conquering king. I'm not worried about what the enemy's saying. I'm not afraid because everyone's talking about all the stuff that's swooping around us and how the enemy's coming. Like, who reigns? Our God reigns. So be encouraged. Look at the fact that there is an enemy. Understand that we have some weak areas where we're exposed, and that's going to happen. Let's first attack it with prayer, but also stand guard. Remember, in this day in which we live, we are fighting for our families, our children, and our grandchildren. We are. And we need to take that seriously, just like Nehemiah did. He's like giving us the purpose and the reason to fight. We need to do it. And we begin that fight on our knees. But we also strap on a sword and stand guard. And we don't let the enemy in. Let's be that church. God bless you today.